All right, shalom, everybody. Shalom. This is Deacon Kahleial with the King James Bible University, Shawnee, Kansas. And today's teaching is titled, Young Men in the Truth. All right. So, young men in the truth. We have a responsibility. All right. Why? Hey, I'm a young man in the truth. So, we gonna be looking at a couple of things and some counsel that is in the scriptures to help us navigate. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm a young adult in the truth, but you get my point. You know what I'm saying? So, but for the ones who's who might be younger or might need some guidance through the scriptures and stuff like that, we have all this here in this teaching here. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to begin reading what I have here. So, young men in the truth, we have a responsibility. We have to learn what is required of us and how we are to move being in this truth, and also what advice we should take as we move forward. Being in the truth is a privilege that we should not take for granted, because not everyone is in the same position as we are. Why? Not everybody's in truth. Okay. We have the greatest source of wisdom, and this is the word of God. And we have all these resources that we've been given to ensure we can conform to the truth. Okay. So understanding, some of us may have even grown up without a physical dad, but in truth, we have our heavenly Father to help us, and he has sent his word to lead us back to him and show us the way wherein we should go. We also have seen, that there's men here, seasoned men, who are here to be examples for us, and we can learn a lot from those around us. There will be some things we are warned about as we move forward, and there's going to be a lot of things that we could pick up as we move forward. So we have these elders who've been around the block a few times and have experience on what's happening, and these can give sound advice from the scriptures to help us on this journey. So for the young men in the truth, starting off, we want to be humble, and we should be humble, and recognize that we need help in this journey. Not being afraid to ask questions, but rather seeking to understand what is going on and how we need to move. We never want to think we got it all figured out because we're young. All right. That's one thing we need to understand. And even as we continue to grow and develop, right, we're always needing to remember that we're going to be in a position and in a state to learn. So, and this really anybody could take that right there. Each and every last one of us should always remain in a state of learning, in a position of learning, right? It don't matter if you old or young on that, or if you a male or a female. Why? Because it's not a single one of us that will always have every single thing figured out. We'll always have something to work on. We always got something to do. We always got work to put in. So, but for the young men, we're young, all right? So we always need to go through life in a position to learn more. But through time, we will learn experience as we move forward. So we need to practice humility. All right. And one of the first thing about that right there, we need to honor our mom and our dad. So, but we gonna look at this. We need to honor our mother and father. Okay. So we're gonna look, and we're gonna start with this teaching right here in Matthew 19:19. which reads, honor thy father and thy mother, including thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So understanding that, honor your father and your mother. So when we looking at father and mother, we're going to honor the father, okay? The creator, the most high God of Israel, and we're going to honor our mother. That's going to be wisdom. All right? The wisdom that he has sent. And this is the wisdom that will lead and guide us on this journey. So we want to honor our mother and our father, okay? When we're looking at that in a spiritual sense. But looking at this also in a physical sense, yes, we want to honor, which means respect. So we're going to look at honor real quick. Honor means what? Honor mean right here, respect. So we gonna look at that, respect. Okay. So respect thy father and thy mother. So when it comes to our parents, and this is something, young men in the truth, but also anybody, we understand that we only got one physical mom and one physical dad. And these are the ones that raised us. These are the ones that took care of us. These are the ones that made sure there was food in our stomach, clothes on our back, and regardless of the circumstances, they did what they had to do for us, right? Now, some of us don't have a mom or a dad, but we had one parent that was making sure things was taken care of. We should respect them. Meaning what? Okay, you don't sit there and try to buck up to your parents. You don't sit there and try to talk bad to your parents. You don't sit there and try to debate or argue with your parents. You don't sit there and throw rocks at your parents. Oh, you did this. We need to always stay in a position to where we're showing them that respect. And the reason is, for one, we only got one of them. And for two, that is a part of us remaining humble. We don't want to get prideful and then think, oh, well, I'm better than you and I'm this, that, and the because at the end of the day, our parents went through what they went through, and then we here. And they made sure, providing that they was there and they was there for you, they made sure that whatever had to happen happened so that you could have what you needed to be where you are today. And even if we had a parent that wasn't there, right, you still learn something from that parent. How is that? You learn something from that parent because if that parent was in jail, if that parent was out doing this and that, if that parent was acting crazy and doing all this and that, you still learn something from them at the end of the day. So you should be grateful and appreciative that you got to learn something from them, even if they weren't there. I know in my situation, with my dad, I'm appreciative of what I learned from him, even though he might not have been, present. But I'm not in jail. I know not to go to jail. I know not to do a lot of things. So I should be grateful and appreciative towards my dad, despite all the circumstances or what it might took place. Why? Because I'm in the position that I'm in today for a reason. So respect thy father and thy mother. We should treat our parents with respect. We shouldn't try to argue with them, fight with them, debate with them, and do none of that. This is not to say that if they're trying to steer us away from the truth that we follow them. You don't do that. Why? Because respect your father and your mother. Respect the creator and the wisdom that he has sent. So respect your father and your mother. So the father being the creator and thy mother being that wisdom. Okay? The spirit of God. All right? You respect you respect them. You respect the father and his word over everything else. So if your physical mom or dad is trying to get you to go that way, you don't do that. You simply just stating what the truth is, but you still treat them with respect. Hey, mom, look, I'm gonna follow them. I'm gonna follow the Most High God. But when it comes to you fighting with them, arguing with them, treating them with disrespect and all this, don't do that. Don't do that. So now we can go to the next verse. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5. Likewise, you younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. See? For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. All right. So if we want to sit there and be proudful, have this pride, okay, we gonna be resisted. Because it's like, why are we trying to come to the Most High with this pride? Like our poop don't stink. We all have to learn. We all have to grow. So we can't sit here and think, oh yeah, I got it figured out. Man, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah. Nah, we gotta get off that. We gotta get off that. For God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. So we gotta be humble. All right, we gotta be humble. So now from here, let's go to Titus. I did not mean to click that. Let's go to Titus chapter 2, verse 6 through 8. If any provide, wait a minute. My bad. Chapter 2. I'm still at chapter 1. Let's go to Titus chapter 2, verse 6 through 8. I'm stuttering, y'all. It happens sometimes. Let me see here. Young men, likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. All right. A pattern of alms is what this is saying. Because watch this. Because that just actually hit me that's what that says right there. Look at this. Look at what alms is. Good deeds, good works. Yeah, because that just hit me. I was like, wait a minute, that's what that means. But yeah, right there, a pattern of alms. All right, let's look at this. We're looking at a pattern, right? Leaving a example and sample of good works, an example of alms. All right, like here. Let me look at this real quick. Let me go through here. Boom. Pattern. Example. All right. Being a model. Showing that blueprint. So, meaning what? Well, let's look back at the verse. Showing thyself. In all things, showing thyself a pattern. An example. An example of good works, of alms. In doctrine. And so that means in these teachings, showing uncorruptness, gravity. Let's look at gravity real quick. Soundness, soberness. We already saw exhort to be sober-minded. So this soundness, this soberness. Look at this. Wisdom and maturity. Young men, likewise exhort to be sober-minded in all things, showing thyself a good pattern, showing thyself a pattern of good works. In doctrine and teachings, showing uncorruptness, gravity. So this wisdom and maturity, seriousness, honesty, respect and conduct, reverence and conduct, righteousness and integrity. So when we sitting here walking this path, we need to be committed to what it is that we're doing. Following the Spirit of God, serving Jehovah, honoring our father and mother. You see what I mean? So we need to have integrity in that. We need to have reverence. Look at this real quick. We're gonna look at reverence and conduct. What do reverence mean? Look at this. Respect, devotion. All right. In conduct. Business, work. Right here. But we looking at this. Manner of life, way of life, behavior. So when we looking back at that gravity, reverence and conduct, so this respect and work, this let me see this. So that respect and work, this respect and the manner of life. So that means we gonna be following the truth. We gonna be holding to the ways that's appointed to us from the Most High. So obeying that voice, honoring our father and mother, and ensuring that we're following these commandments and precepts. That's what we're going to do. Doing this in wisdom and maturity. Getting off them childish things. So not sitting there doing all this craziness or all that. Nah. So as we learn, we learn and we grow. All right, being in seriousness, in honesty, and righteousness, and integrity. So we see these things there, and then it said what? Uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech, sound speech. Sound. Let me see. It's just saying wind, noise, voice, message. All right. Tying you to voice, tying you to communication. Right. Look at this. Sound, devoted, entire. That's what we want to see here. Complete, whole. But we looking at that devoted. Look at that speech. Look at this. Language. One accord. Unity. Complete unity. Speech. Fruit of the Spirit. Word. Language. Conversation. Discord. Or no. Discourse. Sorry. Utterance. Integrity. Thoughts and beliefs. Culture. You see? So we sitting here seeing some things that's going on, okay? So sound speech, sound conversation, devoted conversation, as we can see. So let's look at that conversation. Because you'll see it's tying you back to integrity. But it go right back to it. Behavior, conduct, manner of life, walk, lifestyle. So it's going to be this devoted lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that's devoted to righteousness, keeping the commandments and walking in uprightness, keeping the ways of Jehovah in our heart and being led by the Spirit of God, having these instructions be what guide us on this path, illuminating the way that we should move. This is what we need to do as young men. So when we're looking at the verse, we understand in this sound speech, this is a devoted manner of life. Why? Because we're gonna be devoted to the teachings. We're gonna be devoted to the uncorruptness, devoted to doing these things. All right. So in doctrine, in teaching, showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity, we're gonna be devoted to these things. Why? Because we seeking to do what's pleasing to Jehovah. So sound speech that cannot be condemned. Why? Because we devoted to the work that needs to be done. We devoted to serving the Most High. We devoted to these things. So to that one behavior, to that manner of life, walking in the ways of righteousness, in the paths of peace, in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes from the Most High God in the Spirit. This is what we need to be devoted to. So sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. Why? Because people gonna be coming around saying, "Oh, you this, you that, you this." Okay, but then you just handling business. So then they gonna sit there and be tripping. You let them trip. Why? They gonna come against you, saying this and saying that, doing this and doing that. Oh, he's this, he's that. Is it? Nah, you just handle business. You do what you gotta do. Continue to seek the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes from the Most High. To seek those things pleasing to Him. To seek those things that's beneficial to your soul. Seek that. Seek that. So let's read verse 8, and then we're gonna pivot. Sound speech that cannot be condemned. That's a full thought. That he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. Why? Because you walking it how you talking. You man, he dedicated to that, man. Hey, he sitting there saying he following the word, and then he showing me everything he talking about. He All right, who is this dude, man? This young man acting like he 30. This young man acting older than his age. This, that, and the third. This is what they gonna start sitting there thinking. Saying you an old man in a young body. Why? Because you moving with wisdom and maturity. But once again, it's not for us to smell ourselves and think, oh, I'm this. No, don't do that now. Don't do that. With 1 Timothy 4 and 12. Which reads, let no man despise thy youth. That's a full thought. But however, be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, which we know that in manner of life. What is it saying? Be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, your manner of life, in charity. Look at that charity. Alms, good deeds, good work. See, you keep going back. Love, promise, kindness, benevolence, goodwill. So in charity, doing well, seeking to do good, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Let's read down to let's go to 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. And I'm going to just show doctrine real quick. Why not? It's not going to hurt to look at what doctrine means. I said it was teachings. So we just look. Teachings, instruction, principles. Give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Skip to 15. Meditate upon these things, these teachings, these instructions, those principles. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. 16. Take heed unto thyself. What's that? What's heed mean? Heed. Take heed, take heed, take heed, take heed. Take caution. All right. Unto thyself and unto the doctrine. So we seeing that. We taking this caution. So we making sure we paying attention to what we doing. We being sober minded. All right. We sitting there making sure we walking in obedience. All right. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. So we taking this caution, okay? We'll look at this a little bit more. So we see take caution, we see heed, we see obedience, but let's look at that guidance. Time you what? To counsel, advice, wisdom. So instruction. All right. So we need to take instruction unto ourselves. So the things that we're learning, we need to apply this to our lives. We need to bring this in the storehouse. We need to learn on what it is we need to do. So take instruction unto thyself and unto the doctrine. So when we learning these things, we need to learn what's going on and apply these things. Oh, let me see. So as we can see, it says what? Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. So we need to watch what we doing, and we need to take this instruction in within. All right. And then also watch who we learning from as well as we moving forward on the journey. So we need to be obedient. Why? Because one thing is this should be written on our hearts. Okay. So this being written on our hearts, we need to take heed unto ourselves. This should be within. And the same thing is, and unto the doctrine, unto the teachings, unto the instructions. It says what? Continue in them. Why? Because this being written on the heart, we should know right from wrong. We should know to follow the Most High God and hold to His way. So as we learn the truth and we know what's going on, you better take heed unto that. You know what's right. Don't let nothing switch your mind over now. Continue in them. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Why? Because as you learn and as you continue to grow, as you continue to understand, we only got one soul to save, but we don't want to be a stumbling block to somebody that's weak either. Sitting there doing things, saying one thing and doing another. Sitting there moving around and alleging that, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but then you doing something else. So then this will make it to where when that person gets strong, they gonna hold the truth they self. Why? Because you being that example. Being that example. But if you want to sit there and say one thing and do another and be a hypocrite, you putting yourself and other people in danger. Why? Because it's people that's paying attention to you as you move forward. It's people that's looking at you. It's people that's looking at you because you're in the example, and you got some people looking at you to get you to slip too. We're in a mixed multitude. Not everybody's going to have your best interest. So understanding, we need to take heed unto ourselves. Understanding that when we're learning, that's in our heart. So when we know right, we're going to do what's right. And we're going to be obedient unto the instructions given. We're going to be obedient unto the teachings given. We're going to be obedient unto that voice. And we're going to continue to move forward. And then the people that see us, they have that example. Why? Because you got some people that might learn visually. How do they do this? How do they do that? And they watching you. So that means when you understand what you need to do, have that integrity. That integrity. You stand in the truth. You standing on that rock. You're not moving. You're not folding for nobody. You move forward. You do what you got to do. That's what we got to get into, okay? For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Because we don't want to, for one, we don't want to have a stumbling block to nobody else. And we also don't want to be a hypocrite. So understand, the only one that has a heaven or hell to put us in is the Most High. We don't have a heaven. Us ourselves don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in. We have to answer to the Most High. So we want to make sure we're not being a hypocrite, and we also having that example. So for those that understand the truth, as they get stronger, you not causing a stumbling block by doing stuff you ain't got no business doing. See? So from here, let's go to Sirach. Chapter 1, verse 29. It says, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. All right. That's clear. That's highly clear. So it is important for us young men in the truth to be focused on what it is we need to do. We need to take heed unto ourselves and not move in the wrong direction, as well as ensure we're not saying one thing and doing another. We cannot afford to be slack or go astray in this journey, because others is looking at us, whether we realize it or not. So we have to be an example and hold fast to what is true in the word of God always. All right. So from here, let's go to Ecclesiastes 11:9. We're going to look at 11:9 and we're going to look at 10. Rejoice, O young man. Young man. Used to be male or female. But rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. That's a full thought. And let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, because the law should be written in there, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. For that reason, remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. Everything in this world waxes old, my brothers. Everything in this world will fade away and die. You got some young men that call themselves wanting to live their best life. So instead of having that law in that heart, following the ways of the Most High, following righteousness, seeking to be filled with righteousness, they want to follow the ways of the world, and they want to walk in the ways of their own heart, being desperately wicked. They don't want to have that law written on their heart. They don't want to do what's right. They want to sit there and go out there and live the ways of the world. And this is what young people do in general. Females and males. You got females that want to cut the monkey, sit there and getting all these different things, whore they self out, give this one, that one, and the next one they body, sleep around, do this, do that, come about hot girl summer, all this stuff that they want to get into. They want to sit there, be at the club twerking. They want to sit there and get into all this hooting and hollering, and then wonder why they got baby daddy issues and all this craziness. But you got the young men that like that though. Talking about some where the hoes at. Talking about some they finna put in this, they finna push this work. Slang for selling drugs. They want to sit there and holler at Keisha and Tanisha and all these different things and call themselves living their best life, thinking that chasing money, women, power, and fame is living life. And that ain't life, because you chasing after something that's going to fade away. The things of this world is temporary. So instead of having that law written in their heart, following the ways of the Most High, they going to lean to their own understandings, and they going to walk on the ways of their heart. Instead of walking in the ways of their heart, where the law supposed to be written in their heart, following the ways of the Most High, obeying that voice, and then leaning to that understanding where we have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of truth, so we know what's right, and we gonna lean to that. No, they gonna lean to their own vain thoughts. They gonna lean to these different things that they find pleasing to their flesh. But we have to understand, we can't get caught up into these things of the world. Why? Because these things ain't something that's gonna be profitable to us. Guess what? I was sitting there living that way. I wanted to be a famous rapper at one point. I thought I was gonna sit there and be a famous rapper. I was sitting there being a hoe, thinking I needed to have all these women, thinking I needed to have all this money, wanting to be better than everybody else, wanting to brag, wanting to do this, wanting to do that, because I can rap and sing a little bit, thinking I was doing something. That's stupid. Chasing after something that's dumb. Wanting to be seen and put on a pedestal by people. Wanting to be like Kanye West. Wanting to be like all these other people. This is what we do. But we have these examples of men in truth. These are the examples we should be looking at. A lot of us growing up without a dad, we want to follow all this. We want to follow our dumb friends, or people who we think is our friends, encouraging us to sell drugs, encouraging us to holler at this chick, encouraging us to sell drugs, to do drugs. Hey man, hey, let's pour up a little liquor, bro. I got this drink in my cup. Doing this stupid stuff. Hey man, hey, I got this gas for the low, bro. Hey, let's go, hey, let's go blow this zip. Wanting to sit there and just be high all day, being a bum. This is what we sit there and get into. Guess what I was sitting there doing? Had people who I called my friend selling them drugs. Sitting there getting high. Going in college. Going to parties, not doing my work, my assignments. Going so I can go out and fornicate with this girl. Sitting there defiling myself, laying down with her, doing these things. Getting high with her, getting drunk with her, laying down with her. And she's sitting there going through her lady stuff, being dirty. This is what the hell I was sitting there doing. We can't be doing that type. That's disgusting. We sitting here doing all these things thinking it's cool. Doing all these things thinking this is, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that. Nah. So it ain't no reason to be upset because everybody else is doing stuff. We shouldn't want to do what they doing. We shouldn't want to be out in the world doing all that stuff. We shouldn't want to be doing none of that. We shouldn't. For therefore, verse 10, for that reason, therefore, remove sorrow from thy heart and put away evil from thy flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. Childhood and youth, what is vanity? childhood and youth is a vapor. It's gonna vanish before your very eyes. That vapor. Just a mist. You ever seen a mist? You get a little spray bottle, see, I'm growing my locks out. You got a little spray bottle and you spraying that spray bottle over the top of your head and you see that mist come down. That mist will completely vanish. After it comes in contact and absorbs, it's completely gone. It's a little mist. It's nothing. It's a vapor. It's emptiness. We already saw that tying to that vanity. It's the emptiness. So we don't want to sit there and get caught up. I want to live my best life. I'm young. I'm this. I'm that. Look at this. Let me see. It's something specific. Something specific. Let me look at this. I'm trying to empty this emptiness. Is void, and that void, something that's void, there you go. That's what I was looking for. It's worthless. It's worthless. So we don't want to sit there and think, oh, let me live my best life. Let me go do this. 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 That stuff is not worth our time. You can sit there and do and have fun doing certain things. You want to sit there and you did your work. You did what you had to do. You want to play a game real quick. Okay, cool. You did your work. You did what you had to do. You made sure stuff was situated. You want to go and kick back for a bit and go out to eat. Okay, cool. Ain't nobody saying sit in the house all day, be a robot. But doing the things of the world and getting attached to the ways of the world, that ain't what we need to do. That's not living your best life. That's harming yourself spiritually. That's harming your soul. But people want to get into these things. They want to be around people who want to pull them this way and that way. They want to be around people who will lead them into the ways of the world. They want to be around people who is going to pull them into these wrong directions. And we let people know, hey, I don't roll like that, man. Childhood and youth is vanity. So it's not something for us to think, oh, we need to do this. I need to do, because it's all going to fade away. Every last thing in this world is going to fade away. So when we looking at Ecclesiastes 12, 1a, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth. This is what we need to do. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Let's tie that to Hebrews. Let's tie that to Hebrews. Let's read this again. Remember now, so we're gonna look at Hebrews 11:25. So I'm gonna read this together. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Hebrews 11:25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. This is highly clear because we know that sin brings death. But many young people still want to enjoy that sin for a season, calling themselves living their best life and doing these vain things of the world. There is a payment for what we do. We must put away the things of the flesh and turn and follow Jehovah no matter what. It is essential in this journey to forsake all the things of the world. We cannot even have a little. We can't even have a little bit of that with us. We can't. And we need to operate within the framework of the Word of God with spiritual understanding and not be conformed to this world. This is what we need to keep in mind. So let's look at this now at Tobit chapter 4. verse 5 through 11. My son, be mindful of the Creator our guide all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin. Let not thy desire be set to sin. Let not thy intent be set to sin, or to transgress, or to forget his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. For if providing thou deal truly, thy doings shall prosperously succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly, that live rightly. Give good deeds of thy substance. Looking at this is in parentheses, so this could be material wealth. We're looking at wealth, faith, hope. Because check this out. Substance, faith, hope. Right? Look at this. And then we're looking at wealth. Let's go straight to faith. We're going to look at something real quick. Belief, confidence, trial, expectation, believing, hope, trust, wing, conviction, devotion. Why? Because remember, we're supposed to be putting in this work and having this integrity, right? So we see that substance is saying what? Give good deeds of thy substance. Give good deeds of thy faith. Now we're going to pivot because this wasn't in here, but I see it, so I'm going to do it. Let me see this. It's in James. I should know this off the top of my head, and I don't. But it's James. We're going to look at 2:20, and we're going to look at 2:26. We're going to pivot and go to these real quick. I remember what it said, but hey. I got to get good at that. James chapter 2 verse 20 right off the top. Yeah, that man Deacon James know how to do that right there. I know what it say. He gonna take me. I'm gonna go find it. I know what the verse say, but that man, James chapter 2 verse 20, he could just do that. Boy, that right there. But look at this. Thou believest that there is one God. Wait a minute. 2 and 20. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna actually sit there and read this anyways. I'm going to read 19 and 20. Thou believest that there is one God? That's a full thought. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? This substance without works is dead. Look at that. Jump to verse 26. For as compared to the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Well, what do we see that substance was? That substance, what do we see that was again? Oh, faith, hope. What did this say again over here? Give good deeds of thy substance. Give good deeds of thy faith. So you got that faith and them works. Give good deeds. Give good works. Give good fruits of thy faith. And when thou givest good works, alms, let not thine understanding be envious. Neither turn away. It says, neither turn thy face from any poor. And the face of God shall not be turned away from thee. What this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you have, hey, if you are led to share it, share it. Put it in the work. Do what's required of you. These are the things, as we learn, we grow. We apply these things to our lives. Give these good fruits, these good alms, these good works. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou have but however a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. If you know one thing and you know how to break it down and you know how that's working, how that's running, and you can answer questions on it, if that's all you got, don't be afraid to give that. Don't be afraid to give that. You got some people who be sitting on this knowledge and they ain't gonna give nothing. I like to sit in the back. What you doing here? Verse 9. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. Verse 10. Because that alms, good works, do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness. 11. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. Pivot real quick. This wasn't in here. Cause give it in the sight of the Most High, that's bringing me to let me look at this. Let me see this. Because we ain't supposed to toot our horn when we do that. Oh yeah. I help this person. Get off that weird stuff. Let me see this. Because some people, and what I mean by get off that weird stuff, some people will brag to other people to look good to other people. So that means they're not doing it for the right reasons. They doing it to look good. That doesn't make sense. This seeking vainglory. Let me see this. Where is this at? I'm gonna find this real quick. Yes, it's Matthew 6. Let me see this. Let's do this. Matthew 6:1. Take heed that you do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. For that reason, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound the trumpet before thee, as compared to the hypocrites do in the synagogues. They do it in them dang buildings and in the streets. These stupid camp boys, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. So when we doing these good works, when we doing these things, and we doing these things sincerely, you don't got to run around telling everybody. So don't sit there and sound a trumpet. So that means don't go around sitting there doing these things just to be seen of people. If you're going to do good just to do good, serving the Most High. Don't sit there and be sitting there, oh yeah, look at me. Look, I did this. You know how many people sit there and do this? You know how many stupid Christians ain't in the truth? They don't know what truth is. But they like to sit there and talk about they running charity events. They making all this money, talking about something, they donating it to cancer. But then they go around and televise that, and they showing it on TV. Oh, look, this guy, he donated all this money to help these people and these children. He is doing that to look good to you. If somebody really was trying to help somebody for one charity, half the time, these programs, half the time, they don't put that money where they say they gonna put it. For an example, people donating to Black Lives Matter, and they donated to that Black Lives Matter, and then them people sat there and used that money to buy some dang mansions, and they didn't do anything they said they was gonna do. They talking about, oh yes, we're an organization that specializes in doing this. But then you got people donating to that thinking they doing something. You got the people over that donating to that thinking they doing something, wanting to look good to other people. Oh yes, we help black people. We help this. We do that. Wanting to look good to people, and they be doing it for the 100% wrong reason. That's the whole point. They doing everything for the wrong reason. So even the people who give money away, who call themselves helping people, who call themselves doing this, who call themselves doing that, you don't got to sit there and tell a person what you sat there and did. So let's say you share something with somebody, they come to the truth. Okay, oh yeah, I brought them in there. You ain't got to get it. You ain't got to do none of that. It was the word that brought them in there. You just shared something with them and they took hold to it. Somebody need help and you help out somebody that's struggling and they really needed your assistance. You help them out. You don't need to tell anybody about that. You just do it. If they sincerely need help, do it. Just do it. If that's what you led to do, just do it. But oh man, yeah, that dude over there, man. Hey, it was this homeless dude that I helped out. Ah ha ha. That man couldn't. Hey, I bought him some food. I bought him this. I bought him that. I did this for him. Oh man, that's amazing. Okay. Verse 4. That thy alms, good deeds may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret, himself shall reward thee openly. See? So we should be doing these things for the right reason, not to sit there and get praises of men, not to get no glory of men, not to do none of these things. When we doing well, do it for the right reasons. Love your neighbor as yourself. If people need help, you help them out. People need to know something, you share it with them. You do what you can. You do what you can. Do what you're able. Young man. Don't feel like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. Do what you can. That's it. Just do what you can. Providing that you can. Let's go back to this teaching. Tobit chapter 4 verse 11. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. It's clear. Let's go to Sirach. Chapter 5. Verse 1. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. So bringing forth these good fruits, these good works, and something we should be diligent in and not slack. So we have this opportunity given to us to walk humbly with our God, and we should not at all take that for granted, because not everybody has the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of truth. So we will always be in a position to learn, even as we grow older. So we should never say we have enough for our life. Not to sit here and say we need to be covetous and things like that, but understanding that we will always have more room to learn and grow as we move forward, and we will be continuously learning. Go to verse 2. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart, because we know the difference. We should be following the ways of the Most High. And if this is written on our heart, we need to follow him, not what the flesh want. Verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Creator, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Creator come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. Verse 8. Set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So turning to the Creator is not something that we need to delay in, and we do not want to do anything underhanded in this journey either. Honesty, humility, sincerity, integrity, and diligence is what we need moving forward. Surrendering to our God and following his instructions. We have these elders to help us, and providing our parents are in truth, we can receive understanding from them as well, and we treat them with respect. We are not to disrespect our parents, because at the end of the day they sacrificed for us to be here, making sure we had the things we needed, even and if they weren't there for us, we still actually learned something from them still. So we should respect our parents and our elders, understanding that we will not follow something that's going to separate us from Jehovah. This we won't do. This we will not do. We treat our parents and elders with care and respect, not treating them harshly or anything like that. We can look at an example of a man that did not hearken unto the counsel of the elders, and instead chose to operate in a way that he believed was right in his own eyes. So now real quick, we can look at 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 1 through 14. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who is yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him. And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now for that reason make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Depart ye for 3 days, and then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon, his father, while he yet lived, and said, How do you advise that I may answer this people? Let's go down here. And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said unto them, What counsel give ye? See, right, let me go back. This counsel is this counsel here is showing they was letting him know to be humble, to be merciful, to do right by this people. Don't sit there and do them no type of wrong. They was letting him know to do justly. They was letting him know to be merciful, to be humble. This is what they was actually. This is contained in here. That will be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them and answer them, showing that he should have been lowly, meek, and speak good words to them. Then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook that. But he forsook the counsel of the old men which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said unto them, What counsel give ye that we may answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father did upon us lighter, which thy father did put upon us lighter. And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto this people. And that spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. And now, whereas my father did lay you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. So he threatened it. They saying, hey, nah, be harsh to these people, threaten these people. I will add to your yoke. My father have chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the king had appointed, saying, Come to me again the 3rd day. And the king answered the people roughly. So now you see this threat going out. And forsook the old man's counsel that they gave him. He forsook that. Let me let them know what's going on. So now he gonna threaten these people, because that's literally what he spake roughly to him. So we can see how this advice they was giving to him, they was wanting him to be hard on this people. They was wanting him to be harsh with this people. They was wanting him to threaten this people. So he said what? And spake, it says, And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old man's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I'll chastise you with scorpions. I will chastise you with scorpions. So we seeing what's going on here. We see what Rehoboam chose to do. Instead of the counsel of the old man, he chose that counsel of the young men and threatened the people that came to him. He showed no mercy and wanted to rule with authority. These are things that we shouldn't do, because we are to be meek and be willing to help one another in this journey, showing that mercy and kindness to others, not develop into a tyrant or to do cruel ways to others. Didn't we see earlier we need to operate with wisdom and maturity? Operating in wisdom is highly important for us young men moving forward, because it'll help us grow closer to our guide. And to conform to his way. We need to be conforming to the ways of Jehovah and not get caught up in fleshly pursuits or devices. Doing all this stuff. Let's go to Sirach. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. Wait for her good fruits. And now, for thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt learn of her works right soon. Look at this. Verse 20. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. So unlearned. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. What can tie to unlearn? Unlearn. Time when to being foolish. Right? So what's that foolish time somebody to? It's tying to a whole bunch of stuff, but it's something specific that I'm going to. Right there. Carnal. C is ignorant right there too. So those that have no desire for wisdom will not hold to it. Those who rather pursue this world and chase the things of this world, they won't remain with the true wisdom from the Most High God, which is contained in his word. So we need to trust the process as we grow in wisdom. And also forsake unrighteous thoughts and motivations. As we learn better, we should do better. And we will see many of the things we have done wrong or are doing wrong. And this could feel like a lot to take in, but it is necessary for us to go through these things in order to grow. Just as a seed is planted into the ground, what's contained within that seed will germinate and has to push through all that dirt and continue to push until it reaches the surface. And then it can truly begin to grow. So also, do we need to take in this wisdom? And as we conform in wisdom, all these things of the flesh need to be removed. And we need to pursue and continue. We need to continue laying aside all these things so that we could be transformed from within. But we have to forsake the things of this world and put to death the flesh in order to reach the place where we seek to be, which is in the kingdom, safely with our God, in peace. Let's stay in Sirach. Let's go to chapter 4, verse 17. Who is this talking about? It's talking about wisdom. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. We have to push through no matter what and endure until the end. There's a lot of things we gotta get straightened out. A lot of things we need to get straightened out. A lot of things we need to have removed from us. But as we see these things, remove them. We don't want to have any mustard seeds with us. So we need to look at these things and remove these things. Then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. So we have to push through no matter what and endure until the end. But however, if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin. Why? Because he want to do what he want to do now. He don't want to follow wisdom. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil. That's a full thought. And be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. All right. Let's go to Sirach 6:22. And it reads, for wisdom is according to her way, and she is not made known. She is not manifest unto many. You go right back to it. Not everybody got that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got some people that just don't got it. Look at this. Uncover. Look at this. Talking about make known. We see these things. Revealed. Uncovered. Show. Disclose. These things time to manifest. Look at this. Appear. Show. So we need to understand what this is saying here. For she is not uncovered unto many. We saw they taught to make known. She's not known unto many. Not many people know true wisdom. Not many people know true wisdom. Verse 23. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel. And put thy desires into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain. So them fetters that you, so put thy desires into her chains, her bonds, her cords. You could look at that as a yoke. Her yoke, her chains, her bonds, her cords. In thy neck, thy way, thy path, thy obedience. You're going to submit to her. So submission. Into her chain. Bond. Servitude. Restraint. Obligation. You're going to hold to the ways of wisdom. You're going to follow the way of wisdom no matter what. You're not going to turn from it. And look at this. Bow down thy shoulder. Bow down thy strength. And carry her. You're going to have this wisdom. You me carrying this wisdom inside of you. And be not grieved with her bonds. 26. Come unto her with thy whole heart. Thy whole desire. And keep her ways with all thy power. Verse 27. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. For at the last, 28, for at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy. 29. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, in her chains a robe, a covering of glory. 30. No. 31. Thou shalt put her on as a covering of honor, a covering of glory. And thou shalt put her about thee as compared to a crown of joy. 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. 33. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. 34. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise. You see what elders we got here? I'll be harassing Elder Martin. You got Elder Carlos out here. You got Elder Lynn out here. You got Elder Jenkins out here. You got Elder Johnson out here. You got these elders that's here. There might be one that you understand a bit more than the other. I harass these men. I done spoke with each of them. Whether it be about one topic point or another point. Whether it be on life or whether it be on the book. The book is our life. But them giving advice in these different things. So stand in the multitude of elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Whichever one that you can understand. You know they got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Oh, we got Elder Marshall too. I done spoke to Elder Marshall too. We have these examples amongst us that have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in them. So we need to always be in this humble position. Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understandings escape thee. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. I'll be harassing Elder Martin, bruh. I'm telling y'all, a man of understanding is somebody that know what's going on. You can ask questions, they can answer it. They know what's going on. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Creator, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire. And we about to wind down this teaching right now. Because understand, we have these resources, we have these tools, we have all these things to help us, young men, in this journey. Various examples, various teachers. We have elders, we have deacons, we have strong brothers. We need to move forward in this journey with integrity and hold fast to that which is good. Let's go to Tobit. Chapter 4. Verse 15, 18, and 19. Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. So we don't want to sit here. Once again, we remember this. We need to love our neighbor as ourselves. We don't want to be walking around staggering in this journey, walking with no balance, walking, getting tripped up in all these things. We need to hold to the ways of the Most High. Verse 18. Ask counsel of all that are wise, and despise not any counsel. Despise not any counsel that is profitable. 19. Bless the Creator thy guide always. Learn of the Creator thy guide always. Look at that. Bless. Yeah, look at this. This will show that what bless mean. Learn of. Bless, learn of. Learn of the Creator thy guide always, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed, and that all thy paths and counsels may prosper. For every nation have not counsel, but the Creator himself giveth all good things, and humbleth whom he will, as he will. Now for that reason, my son, remember my commandments, neither let them be put out of thy mind. Now we're going to look at the final verses of this teaching. Some of these ain't in my notes, but I'm going to do this just based on where I'm looking to go right here. Hear, O Jehovah's servants, the Spirit of God our guide is one Spirit. And thou shalt love the Spirit of God thy guide with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. We need to always hold to the ways of the Most High God, no matter what. Period. Let me see this. I think it's Micah chapter 6 verse 8. He have showed thee, O man, male or female, O man, what is good, and what doeth the Spirit of God require of thee, but to do justly, and to promise mercy, and to trust mercy, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy guide. Leviticus 19:18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Spirit of God. That's what this is saying. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Spirit of God. Let's look at this. Let me check this before I pull that up. I'm gonna read that real quick and make sure. Okay. Let's finish this off with Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Gonna be the king of sin. Gonna be a pharaoh. So we need to make sure we doing what we supposed to be doing, my brothers, and ensure that we're following the ways of the Most High God and utilizing everything that's being given unto us, walking in integrity and in righteousness, and holding fast to truth, never turning away from that which is true and being led astray, and always honoring our father and mother. So with that being said, I thank you for coming out to this teaching. This has been Deacon Kahleial, and I say unto each and every last one of you, Shalom.
We'll be right back.